Alright, Schlockmeister fans, going back to something from my old channel. We're going to rewatch The Prey. Let's check it out. Our movie starts out in 1948, and there's a big fire in the woods. And some screams. We'll hear more about that later. And now we fast forward 32 years later, same area, couple in the woods. We find out later that they are good campers. She walks off for a little bit and then we hear this. She comes back to discover what's left of her husband. And she's next. Camp Ranger?
No. Boyfriends are inside getting our permit.
And 3 couples going
Where are you up to?
off in the woods.
North Point. Well, not too many people go up there. If you want to be alone, that's a great spot.
Nothing out there that could hurt you.
That's Gail.
It's Greg here you gotta watch out for. I hear it comes down to his knees.
A lot you know. There was something out there, and it followed me here.
If it's a campfire, it's story time.
Hey guys, you ready? I want to tell you a curious story. Happened about 30 years ago, right here in North Point. There was a band of gypsies camped out not far from where we are right now.
The gypsy stuff is back in 1948.
I don't care what you say, Jake. Those damn gypsies are a menace to our community. I won't feel safe till they're gone.
Don't be ridiculous, Dave. They're not gonna do nothing.
They're not.
This is Marco, the gypsy on the left.
While Jake's working.
Stop thinking about your husband. He's not thinking of you.
He has his eyes on a married woman,
Gave you a gentle touch.
which happened to be the wife of that guy that was just yapping about him. Marco was totally successful in making his moves on her. That's Mary. And they're boning. She gets found out.
I can't tell you.
Tell me, goddammit!
Who was he? He raped me.
She's not being honest. So what are they going to do?
I knew it.
Mary told me I was a son of a bitch. Grabbed her in broad daylight. Right in the parking lot of the market. And then he took her to the outskirts of town and the bastard raped her.
Can't we just forget the whole thing? I could stay home until they go away. Gypsies always go away. Don't they?
Never mind, little darling. What we got? We're gonna barbecue us a whole bunch of gypsies.
Here you go, Uncle Jake.
Thank you, honey.
What are you doing?
We're going to barbecue some gypsies.
But the legend of North Point says that one boy escaped, great beyond belief, but recognizable by his size. It was Leo, the young giant.
This is Bobby. I think Skip is her boyfriend. This prevents Skip from getting laid tonight.
Jesus, I really did scare her.
But Gail has no problem giving it up for Greg until she hears something.
Wait, stop. Now what? There's something out there. Somebody's watching us.
Not that again.
So Greg leaves her to go inspect, and then Gail is left behind. I love her t-shirt, "Keep your hands off my tuts." And Gail gets smothered. And of course, Greg is next.
North Point area.
This park ranger is Uncle Fester. Jackie Coogan's last work. Getting a call about that first couple, the older couple. Greg and Gail are missing, of course.
All their gear's gone, right? What that means to me is they packed it up and took off. My bet is they went back.
Without telling anybody?
So they're going to carry on.
The same place as last month, up at North Point.
Who are they?
Sylvester, Frank, and Mary. They're middle-aged, and they're supposed to be good campers.
Uncle Fester tells a story about the gypsy fire.
Well, it disappeared in the brush.
Well, what was it?
The only way I could describe it was that it was a young boy.
Well, the guys are going to go rock climbing while the girls are just going to stay behind and sunbathe. And something's in the woods. With a killer in the woods, this just does not bode well for them, does it? Meanwhile, Park Ranger Mark finds Gail's body and Greg's body when he's looking for the other couple. There goes Skip. Joel sees something and realizes he's got to get down immediately, but it ain't going to be quick enough. The girls heard the screams and come running. Somehow they managed to get dressed real quick. Joel's head's a little turned around. That was Skip's head, actually, that was turned around. Meanwhile, the girls run off and get chased in slow motion. And Bobby gets her foot in a trap. No more Bobby. Well, then our creature shows up, and then the park ranger Mark shows up too. Hits him with a dart. We finally get a look at the thing. And it works. It knocks him out. Or does it? It doesn't. But hitting him with a branch or something does the trick. But Mark commits the cardinal sin of turning his back on the killer. It's something you never, ever, ever, ever do. The film shows us some nature footage. The seasons pass. Apparently he spared the girl for other reasons. Alright, let's talk about this movie, The Prey. This is a movie that I taped way back in the day off of cable. It was one of the first movies I ever taped, probably within the first 50 movies that I taped out on a Kodak tape with the Devonsville Terror and maybe Flash Gordon, Devonsville Terror, and The Prey. I think that was it. So anyway, this came out on Blu-ray just a couple of weeks ago, actually, by Arrow. Thank you very much, Arrow. This is a movie, a lot of people get excited about new releases of, some of your classic films, your Suspiria, your Dawn of the Dead, new HD, 4K versions, this and that. That doesn't get me excited at all. I mean, I have all those movies already, and, if it's a movie that I super, super love a lot, maybe I'll upgrade, maybe I won't, I don't know. But I get more excited when I hear something about, like, The Prey, which has never been released before on DVD. This is what gets me going, because this is the stuff that's not out there yet, so you might as well get a good copy of it. And this thing is freaking brilliant. Or it looks great, I should say. I don't know if it's brilliant, but anyway. This movie, this DVD here, has three different versions of the film. There's the 80-minute version, which we all remember, which was the VHS tape version. Came out in the 80s, which I also have. But there's also the long version with the infamous gypsy footage. That's the one I reviewed here, actually. And there's also a fan-made version, which kind of combines the two of them. Interestingly, the gypsy version is 97 minutes long. The original VHS version is 80 minutes long. However, the Gypsy version here actually has more than just 17 minutes of extra footage. It has more than that, and they actually cut some of the things out, some of the scenes out from the 80-minute version. It's kind of an odd version, but it was like a totally different film, actually. So anyway, I'd seen The Prey a million times, probably back in the day. It was a cable staple in the mid-'80s. So you basically have a story about some kids going camping in the woods, and they get picked off one by a creature in the woods. He's not really a creature, though. He's a survivor of a gypsy camp that went up in flames 32 years earlier. He was like the last survivor there. And we see some of the backstory in this newer version here. So anyway, he kills off these people one by one. Eventually, there's one girl left at the end, and this creature, he's burnt and horrible looking. He looks like a big lion or something. I don't know. This park ranger tries to stop him, but the park ranger ends up getting killed. And the last scene we see in the movie, he went to the girl, the creature did, and then presumably 9 months passed, because then we hear a baby crying in a cave. So we're led to believe that the creature spared the last girl, screwed her, got her pregnant, and they had a baby together, and that's how the movie ends. So anyway, not a bad little slasher flick from the 80s. Jackie Coogan is in it. It's apparently the last work he did. Although this movie was allegedly filmed in 1979, but not shown in the theaters until 83. So maybe he did a couple other things in between there, so I don't know. But it's the last credit he has on IMDb. The Gypsy version here is probably had about maybe 25 to 30 minutes of extra footage that weren't in the original. And they had a couple of porn stars in there, Eric Edwards, John Leslie, and Eric Edwards' wife at the time, who I can't remember. And there was a lot more nudity in those scenes there as well. So, but anyway, again, my hats off to Arrow. This is the limited slipcover version. I think there's only 3,000 of these that they're limiting this to. Tons of extras on here, interviews with the directors, one of the actresses, just all kinds of stuff. It's just chock full of stuff. Arrow does a fantastic job with their Blu-rays and stuff. So, and the picture, wow, it just looks absolutely fantastic. A movie like this shouldn't look this good, but it does. So anyway, you might remember, some of you old-time DVD collectors like me, back around 1999 or so, 2000, this was allegedly going to come out on a double DVD with The Pit. And I was really looking forward to that because I love The Pit. And unfortunately, they couldn't find a good print of The Prey, and it's been stuck in limbo ever since. The Pit ended up coming out with, I think, a movie called Hellgate on it. I don't know. I have it. So this one's kind of been stuck forever. So it was announced at one point and then it was shelved. So really cool that Arrow resurrected this thing and found a good print to work with. So my hat's off. I get excited for movies like this. So anyway, check it out. It's The Prey. Leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think about it. It's The Prey. Watch it. Bye.